Welcome to PI Exchange. I'm Mark Michelson, Editorial Director of Printing Impressions. Today I'm honored to speak with Jay Mandarino, who's the President and CEO of the CJ Group of Companies in Toronto. Welcome, Jay.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, Mark.
So Jay, let's start out. What can you tell us about the CJ Group of Companies? What do those consist of?
Well, it's just changing every day. We're just going through huge expansion, but basically we started as a printing brokerage outfit in the basement of my parents' home many years ago, I guess 35 years ago. And now we have 29 different companies underneath our umbrella, 3 facilities, looking at a 4th facility right now. We do everything from, we have actual printing presses, we have digital presses, we have large format presses, we have screen presses, die cutting, foil stamping, embossing, we have a photo studio, we have a publication group with over 11 publications now. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I read an article where it mentioned when you started out with your brokerage that a customer came to your house and your mother served the customer cookies, and I
forget that story. I was embarrassed at the time, right? I was late to get there, and so he knocked on the front door as opposed to the side door, and then my mom is, and I'm wondering where he is, and I go upstairs, and there he is in my parents' living room, and she's serving him cookies and milk. But He loved it, and I got the account. So
well, hey, whatever it takes, right?
Whatever.
So let's focus on the printing companies. You've acquired how many printing companies?
We have 29 now, and we've done about 13 acquisitions.
Okay. In doing those acquisitions, was there certain criteria that you were looking for, or what drew you to doing the deals you did?
That's an excellent question, Mark. And, there's different motivations from the beginning to now. I would say now, one of the key things we're looking for is 2 key things are people and accounts. There's no secret. We all need more business, right? But the harder thing to find is good people. I mean, I'm blessed and lucky that I have an amazing team. I feel we have some of the best people in the country here, if not North America, and it's really made us strong. And there's an energy, and everybody's willing to help everybody, and we have fun. And it's people come through for tours, and they really like it, and they feel that energy, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, so people and accounts.
Right. Any advice that you could give to somebody on the seller side in terms of being a buyer?
I've been doing a few M&A talks all over the world, and it's interesting. And there's some challenges, I guess. And if you'd asked me 10 years ago, I would have given you a different answer. I think now more than ever, you need someone in between, because the seller is looking at his or her perspective, and the buyer is from his or her perspective, and we have different agendas. And generally, people want more money than it's worth. And the reality is companies are not worth what they used to be worth. So right. It's a real challenge, and how we evaluate it, how you evaluate it, and an accountant evaluates it. There are all these different methods and methodology, right? And I think sometimes when you have someone in the middle, they can bring people into reality and try to bridge that gap. And look, you're entrepreneurial. You want to make more money, you want to get it for less money, and there's negotiation, right? And I've been lucky that because since I've done these talks, I've facilitated about 22 different deals with other people. So I've learned a lot, and I've learned that definitely we need someone in between when we do a deal. It's just the best way to do it.
Right. Well, there's certainly a lot of emotions involved, especially on the seller side.
That's a really interesting word to use, emotion. It's one of the biggest challenges we find, especially when you have a family business. You have someone who started their business, or their father or their grandfather. Maybe it's 3 generations, 4 generations, right? So there's so much history and emotion there, right? And it's hard for them to let go of that. And we're finding, in not all cases, but generally, I have to be careful what I say here, but I don't want to be politically incorrect, but I would say in some cases the 3rd generation or this younger generation doesn't necessarily want to work as hard or do that type of thing. So they're not as interested in the business. And sometimes the parents, want them to, but it's really not the right fit. So there is that sort of mix too that we see.
Right. Let's turn to Graph Expo, which just took place this fall. Your company actually has quite a distinction. You won 6 Benny Awards in the PIA printing contest, which I think is the first time that any company's won 6 awards since like 2006. So that's quite an honor.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think it's even bigger than that in a way because they were for 6 individual pieces. We often see um, companies outside of the Americas that are have multiple wins in the same piece. So we had 6 different distinctively pieces with 6 different categories. So it was quite amazing, and it was great. And Canada and the United States, we should all be one country anyway. But PI is traditionally a printing contest in the Americas, and now we've got all these countries from all over the world. So it was great to have us there and all the other countries there. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Right. And you also got out your checkbook at Graph Expo.
And
You
we paid 30% more.
you acquired the first Highcon Euclid 2 Plus die cutter in Canada
Yes.
at the show, or at least it was announced at the show. How are you going to use that device in your organization?
Well, it's I don't mean any offense to the German technology or anything, but I just find the Israeli technology is really especially in the digital world, as we're all moving towards, and everything's faster, and we want to save costs. They are ahead of the curve on everybody. I mean, HP, they're built the Indigos over there on these same factories, and the technology is amazing there. That was one of the key things, I think, why we distinctively picked Highcon versus another manufacturer.
Right.
But the machine itself is incredible. I mean, I think one unique thing about it is because of the laser die cutting. It's got 3 different lasers. They can control the array of the lasers. You get minimal burning, and it's got auto stripping, so it's phenomenal. And you can do 10 or you can do 10,000. So it's very versatile and takes a 40-inch sheet, which is great.
Right. But you also bought the first KODA X Ultra with a foiling unit, and I think it's the first one sold in the Americas. So that's another distinction. What drew you to that machine?
You've done your research, Mark. Yeah, this machine it's just started running last week, and it's amazing. I mean, the treatments you can do on it, and the designers and agencies that are through our place every day come over and they look at that. And it's like a candy store. They're just it's amazing, and we've set them up in a showroom as per se, so that we can have stuff come through the Scodex and then go through the Highcon. The workflow, it's amazing. It's the textured finishes, the gloss UV, and the foil. I mean, you don't have to buy dyes. It's all digitally done now. So for someone who, let's face it, run lengths are going down. I know we don't want to say that, but they are. People are targeting more their specific markets. So maybe they're not printing 20,000, they're printing 5,000, or they're not doing 100,000, they're doing 10,000, whatever it is. So now they can affordably add these features to make their pieces stand out. And, I hear from people, print's dead, and people can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, people will always want to touch and feel something. That's never going to go away. And if you're buying something of a substantial value, you want a booklet, you want a brochure on that material. You don't want to, the web is great, and you need a combination of both, but you push that link and then it's gone. That brochure is sitting on your desk, or it's going to be there, so that's not going to go away. So these type of finishes really help accentuate and bring more detail to the client's work, which is great.
Right. It's all about added value and moving away from being
Added
a
value.
commodity. Yes.
And you get to charge less for it. No, just.
That's right. Where do you see your company in, say, 5 years from now? I mean, you've actually grown. I mean, obviously a huge amount over the course of your past. But I mean, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
So I'm going to take your job because it's far less stressful. It seems. You seem always so relaxed. We are growing at a very consistent rate, and we will be probably the largest independent printer in Canada for sure, and one of the top 10, I would say, in North America. We're looking at branching to the States and across the country, and we're partnering with other printers as well. That gives it more value to our clients, and I think you're going to see that in the whole industry. I mean, people want one-stop shopping, and we truly are one-stop shopping with all the different things. And as large format increases and everybody's getting into that, you need more arsenal and more ammunition and more tools to offer your salespeople to go out there, and it's great. But we've got a great balance of young and old people, which is great. So you got the true craftsmen, and you got the younger techie guys bringing their new thoughts. We have a division is our interactive division, where we actually built something called CJ Drive, which is our custom online order system, which is just amazing. We got 6 programmers on staff and 4 support people, and that's just growing and growing. And really, using social media more and content marketing, and really trying to offer more to help sell the client's end product.
Right. Well, you obviously are a success story, and but I've read past interviews where you actually had a difficult childhood and had ADHD and dyslexia, went to a special school, but now you're giving back, and you opened up a skate park and a foundation. Maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
I attempted suicide at a young age of 8, between 8 and 9, and it was a very challenging childhood. Luckily, I had amazing parents; they were always supportive. But I would go home crying, didn't have friends, really couldn't do sports. It was really, really tough. So they luckily found out what it was, and found a school in the States, which is one of the best in the world. So that's amazing, and taught me skills to work around and deal with the dyslexia and ADHD. So I've had amazing people in my life who just really were helpful, and I think that was, my parents gave me that too, so it's just the way I was brought up. So a lot of people don't realize that I give so much back. We have the 4th largest indoor skateboard park in the world, and although it's great for all the great skateboarders to use there, the really trick about it is we're working with Asperger's, autistic, ADHD, kids with cancer. We started a deaf camp up north with a partner, and we've been working with At Youth Risk. So it's really about giving back. I teach every Saturday. I actually jumped over a Ferrari when I was 15, so I'm sort of the cool business guy, I guess. I don't know. And we have a foundation, and we go around the world. I teach skateboarding. We started a certification program. And then as far as the auctioneering, I do 60 events all over the States and Canada where I'm the auctioneer. I get to work with some great celebrities and raise money for charity, and it's pretty fun. I really enjoy it. I have a book out. It just is going to be Indigo chapters in the fall. I have a second book coming out from the different people I've met, and I received 2 medals over the last little while, which is really a huge honor. I got the Diamond Jubilee from the Queen of England, and I got Ontario Citizen of the Year from our Lieutenant Governor. They were great honors, and all for my charity work, which was just amazing. So it was great to be acknowledged for that. And I think it's important for people to give back. I think Americans probably are the best at this, and we should all be following that.
Well, it's congratulations, Jay, and it's very noble that you do give back. You've obviously become very successful, but it's wonderful that you do give back to those that are less fortunate.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you had a chance to go through some of the Graph Expo stuff, but actually when I accepted my awards, I actually asked if I could make a comment, and I acknowledged someone, Corey Turner, who's general manager, president of Spicer's Canada, who's now fighting MS and is in a wheelchair there. And I actually dedicated my award to him, because his battle and what he has done, and what he's doing for MS now and speaking out, which is amazing. And some of us, we think we have a hard time until we realize the challenges other people do. And I guess it's embracing those challenges and moving forward and being positive and helping everybody else at the same time, which is great.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Jay. And thanks for watching PI Exchange. Be sure to visit piworld.com to stay up to date on the latest industry news and commentary. And follow us on Twitter, and join our LinkedIn group, where you can submit questions for future PI Exchanges. And our next PI Exchange will be November 12th. Thanks for watching.